the Bitcoin and crypto Enigma as we do look over actually Ethereum and Bitcoin today, going over some pretty major things that are actually occurring as of right now. Still more or less expected for a boring week for Bitcoin, but other things in the market are moving, namely Ethereum and all of its kind of subsidiaries and a bunch of other altcoins as well. So I wanted to go over a little bit of that. And other than that, I want to welcome you back to the Krown Crypto channel. It's a nice little Wednesday morning, and we can just jump right into the chart view right on over here. So first things first, we'll start actually with Ethereum because it is the more interesting of the two. We were looking at yesterday a likely short-term move to the upside, and that has actually set in the tone for some extensions on the higher term time frame. So this is a 5-day time frame right here. There are a couple things of significant interest in the short term. First and foremost, I'll call out these two major moving averages, the yellow 21 and the white 200 simple. These are crosses that are typically respected on the long term. And as you can see, Ethereum's really only had one of these in the long term. And it was back on over here, or I should say to the upside, back on over here in September of 2020, where Ethereum was essentially coming out of the bear market. It was lagging Bitcoin, kind of like we see right now as well, and had that first major move to the upside, comes back down, crashes to the 21 and 200. They cross the upside. They kiss and cross like Alexander and his great leper boys, and people really liked that comment yesterday. Some people liked it. Some people thought it was homophobic, and fair enough. I mean, it's not really homophobic because I just don't really care to see it. Like, it's not that I hate gay people or anything like that. It's like, I don't really care to see like straight people kissing either. It's fucking weird. It's like, it's not what I'm looking for in my historical documentaries. I'm looking for information about one of the greatest conquerors of all time and what he actually did militarily speaking and politically speaking, not how he fucked his boyfriend and became strong that way, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's a secret. Anyone want to be friends? Didn't think so. Anyways, yeah, so they cross the upside over here and sets in a higher low. I believe this also came on, hidden bullish evidence. And we have kind of a similar setup going on as of right now as well. And this cross will inevitably be happening essentially as long as Ethereum's above the 200 simple, which is 2230. And we do see that there is that same potential for hidden bullish evidence here between the lows in November and the lows that we're experiencing potentially, above 2200. So we can see that, Ethereum does still have more room for upside. It does look like, and ultimately, this might even be the next macro low as long as Ethereum is above 2,200. I mean, that would be a nice pivot as of right now. And we'd really be expecting Ethereum to take legs up within this next 10-day spread if that is going to happen. So yes, what else do I want to say about Ethereum? Also on Ethereum, we were looking at this chart as well yesterday. Ethereum did reclaim the median on the HPDR bands. The blue 50% of historic returns range high is now showing 2490-ish region. So, Ethereum can rally in the more near term. Median has dropped down to 2300. So as long as it's above there, short term, this would be kind of its chance. I do think, like I said, the next probably 10-day spread. If it is going to continue, we likely do see it continue from there. Anyways, what else do I want to say about Ethereum? Yes, and then of course on the daily, we didn't call this one out the other day, but I just realized it is present, hidden bullish evidence in that last daily low, so fair enough. And the daily jewel is actually having a full-on signal over here, continuation supported by DMI, so I like that as well, and it does look like just a generally more interesting chart than Bitcoin right now. But speaking of Bitcoin, we can go back to it over here. I do want to show some, just a bit of a different look on Bitcoin here. I do think that the overall picture is more or less the same. I think that this week's probably gonna be boring. Next week probably gonna be. Next week is the first week where something like she might happen, but I still think that one's mostly going to be boring, and then it's the 2 weeks after that are the ones that are going to be fraught with actual moves. Anyways, I do want to call out something completely new here. You can see that I'm completely bored and looking for new things on price action, and I wanted to see something that was bullish. And what do we know? We do see that the Prime Oscillators Pro over here is turning green for the first time since the last rally attempt to new highs for the year in January. Well, I guess not the year, but on this current cycle in January. And why is this relevant? Well, in the past year and a half, I've gone through all of them, and there have been 16 times where we've actually seen the Prime Oscillators Pro turn green. And of those 16 times, 11 of those have resulted in some pretty decent upside moves. On the lower end, about a 7% move. On the upper end, about 24-25% move. And so that would give it a strike rate of 68.75%, and the average moves were 15.37%. Anyways, This is very, very interesting to me because if it were to play out in this fashion towards the average, that actually would imply a retest of the current high for Bitcoin, as that did fire off right here. So 15% on top of that would put Bitcoin, 49,200 or so. So if that were to happen, that would obviously bring Bitcoin above 46,000 bucks, which is my major area for where a trap essentially is most likely, as long as Bitcoin's below it. Basically, doesn't mean that does imply that Bitcoin can pop up to it as well, but ultimately we would expect Bitcoin to remain on a closing base below 46,000 bucks, and so fair enough. There is something that actually does point in that direction, which we haven't, or at least on this channel, I haven't really seen too many other compelling things that do suggest that Bitcoin continues from this exact base. What I do still think is most likely, however, is that in this next week or two, you do see Bitcoin has a chance for a continuation of this rally. And that could come, like I said, to 45, 46, somewhere around there. But that's really where we would be expecting a lower high, and for Bitcoin to turn down and probably retest these lows at minimum, probably with another bounce and then an actual breakdown, coming into like March or early March, something like that. In fact, my little LARP plans over here are kind of playing out exactly, around mid-March, or sorry, early March. Anyways, what else do I want to say about Bitcoin? Yeah, so again, Bitcoin's chance to rally is still within this week and maybe next week as well, actually. The reason why I say that is because if we go over here to the weekly time frame on CME and bring up the Krown range statistics, and by the way, the oscillators pro and the range statistics and all the other chart prime indicators are included in a singular package, which you can find a link to in the description below. I can't even fucking talk because my sleep is all messed up yet again. But yeah, anyways. On this particular look, we can see that for the weekly, the run up and run down statistics over here, and I want to pay particular attention to on the averages for the run up. We do typically see 3 in a row. So when Bitcoin prints consecutive green weeks, we typically get 3 on the upper end. 4 would actually encompass about 84% of the results, in a maximum of 7 we've actually seen in a row ever for CME again. And for right now, we are working on week number 3 of green, and I know it's kind of purplish right here, but it's just because of the way that things printed on the open, and it is technically green as of right now, as is the index as well, just barely I should say, but it is there. Anyways, that would imply that again this week probably does close green, maybe next week as well, but after that, we would expect a red week. And does that lead into, or does that put us around end of February? Yes, it does. And does that, potentially come in as a rejection below 46,000 bucks? Obviously, time will tell, but that picture is becoming more and more clear as time goes on. And I do believe that still very much relevant. You can reference the video from a couple not Fridays, but a couple Saturdays ago to go a little bit more into detail on that. I'll do an updated video probably at the end of this week, as there are some new things there, and the case is actually a little more compelling than even before, I do believe. So, or at least I think for most rational people. But fair enough. Anyways, this also needs to be taken into context of the daily HPDR ranges. So going over here to the daily, a couple things of interest as well. We do see that the range, the 50% of historic returns range high is coming in at 46,500. There is a few $100 premium over spot price action. So that would put spot, somewhere around 46. And the median for today is coming in at 43,760. So Bitcoin did remain above it yesterday. We would expect Bitcoin to actually once again trade above it probably today, latest tomorrow, if this rally is going to continue and actually put in basically a trap somewhere around here and then turn down. If Bitcoin is going to turn down from here, what would we expect next? We'd expect Bitcoin to come back down below 42,000 bucks and close there on a daily. If you see that happen, yeah, we're going to see, an actual breakdown much sooner than what than what I'm looking for, which is again end of this month / early March. Anyways, anything else? Did I miss anything else? No, I think we got everything for today. Good place me to be leaving off. As always, I want to be wishing you the best. Take care, much love, and I forgot to say it. Find this content valuable, herp and derp, and like, subscribe, and blah, 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 blah. There you go. All right, nice one. Okay, go watch your Alexanders, go watch Pornhub and special categories and shit like that, and we'll be back on tomorrow. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully soon. Bro.